So this is the continuation of the concepts about the cash and cash equivalents. So first is we'll talk about the cash shortage. So this happened when the cash balance per book is higher than the cash actually counted. So meaning record is greater than the counted. Pero ang susundan natin lagi is yung cash actually counted. So upon the discovery of the cash shortage, the entity will record the following. So we will debit cash short over and credit cash. So this is the account title used. So if yung cash shortage is after investigation, fault ni cashier, the entry would be the following. We debit receivable from cashier amounting to 10,000 and credit cash short over amounting to 10,000 as well. So since fault ni cashier to, magkakaroon tayo ng receivable which will be soon collected kapag nagbayad na siya. So the entry upon collection of the cash shortage, we debit cash and credit receivable from cashier amounting to 10,000. So by that time, cash shortage is eliminated. So what if yung cash shortage is walang may kasalanan and it's not fault of the cashier? So we just simply account the cash shortage as a loss. So we debit loss on cash shortage and credit cash short over amounting to 10,000. So next will be the cash overage. So kabaliktaran to ng cash shortage. So in here, the cash balance per book is lower than the cash actually counted. So sobra yung count compare sa naka-record sa book. So upon the discovery, we just simply debit cash and credit cash short over amounting to 10,000. So whether shortage or overage, the account title used is the cash short over. So what if after investigation it is know that the cash overage is attributed to the cashier. So by that, we debit cash short over and credit payable to cashier. So upon the payment, we just simply debit the payable to cashier and credit cash. Pero paano naman if the cash overage is not attributed to the cashier? So this will be treated as an income. So the entry to record, we just debit cash short over and credit miscellaneous income amounting to 10,000. So next is the petty cash fund. So it is defined as the money set aside to pay small expenses which cannot be paid conveniently and practically by means of check. So it is discussed on the previous videos that petty cash fund is one of the cash funds set aside by the entity to pay current expenses of the business. So there are two systems that can be used in establishing a petty cash fund. So first is the imprest fund system and second is the fluctuating fund system. So in the imprest fund system, the balance of the petty cash fund is maintained. So meaning hindi nagbabago. So for example, nag-set aside ka ng petty cash fund amounting to 20,000, that will remain 20,000 all throughout. While on the fluctuating fund system, changes in the balances of petty cash fund happen. So it is updated every time na may binabayaran ka na expenses. But between the two, the imprest fund system is mostly used because it is easier to do auditing. So to further understand the difference between the two, here are the pro forma entries. Upon the establishment of the petty cash fund under the imprest fund system, we just simply debit petty cash fund and credit cash in bank. While on the fluctuating fund system, same entries were made. Next, when charges against the fund happen, under the imprest fund system, no entry is made. Why? Kasi nga under the imprest fund system, the balance of petty cash fund is maintained, hindi siya nagbabago. While on the fluctuating fund system, charges against the fund are as follows. We debit the charges or expenses paid and credit petty cash fund. So as you can see sa fluctuating fund system, mag-change yung balance ng ating petty cash fund. So next is replenishment of the fund. So upon replenishment, we're just bringing back the expenses that are charged to the petty cash fund. So diba under the imprest fund system, no entries were made dun sa charges. So this time, sa replenishment natin sila i-record. So the pro forma entries, we just debit the charges or expense and credit cash in bank. While on the fluctuating fund system, since charges are recorded sa replenishment, we just bring back the balance of the petty cash fund. So we just debit petty cash fund and credit cash in bank. Next is adjusting entry at year end. So kailan ka nagkakaroon ng adjustment? If the fund is unreplenished. So the pro forma entries is we debit the charges or expenses and credit petty cash fund. While on the fluctuating fund system, no adjustment is needed. And next, reversing entries. So we're just going to reverse yung adjustment na nangyari. So we just debit petty cash fund and credit the charges or expense account. And on the fluctuating fund system, no reversing are made kasi nga no adjusting entries. So next, increasing the fund, the pro forma entries is debit petty cash fund and credit cash in bank. So both entries are made whether impressed fund system or fluctuating fund system ang ginagamit. Sa decrease in the fund demand, we debit cash in bank and credit petty cash fund. So same entries whether impressed fund system or fluctuating fund system.